The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this morning's CFIB webinar. I'm just absolutely delighted that you're here. Even though you are showing up as me, I'm more than happy to have you as my identifier. So CEEDA partnered with CFIB back in 2016 in order to be able to provide our members with additional programs and services to facilitate things like our dealer efficiencies, productivity, and profitability. CFIB has so many outstanding options in the programs and services that they deliver that it can sometimes be a little challenging for a dealership to determine the best fit for their particular business needs. Today's webinar is going to give you some insights into that, as well as provide you with some additional information to help you maximize your CFIB membership to drive the greatest return. It's now my pleasure to introduce you. I teased him a little bit ago at calling him, he was the famous Michael Kerwin, but he really is the famous Michael Kerwin with CFIB.
Well, thanks, Bev, and thanks for the opportunity to talk to the members of CEEDA again. My name's Mike Kerwin. I've been with CFIB for 30 years. I'm the Senior Vice President, Business Development. And we're going to do a little review of some of the benefits that are available to you as members of CFIB. So you might remember that CFIB really does three things for the business owners. Our core business has always been advocacy, lobbying the government at all levels on the issues that are important to independent business owners. Secondly, we do offer an awful lot of business support. So I'll talk about our business resources department. And then thirdly, we negotiate savings programs that can save CFIB members an awful lot of money. And so I'll talk about some of those as well. In terms of advocacy, we have about 30 people on our advocacy team across the country. It's been pretty much all COVID all the time for the last year and a half, and it's only just recently we're kind of starting to get questions and concerns about other issues. But some of the successes we've had through the years are listed on this page, and most business owners are familiar with these things, but they might not always realize that CFIB was the driving force behind these things to get the government to do them to benefit the independent business owners. Same kind of thing at the provincial level. Lots of work on the COVID programs, of course. And then I just picked a couple issues from each province just to show you that CFIB is very active at the provincial level as well. And then if you look across the country, you know, there's lots of things that are keeping us busy, and the government continues to do things that can be of concern to business owners. But we do work on all these types of issues based on the feedback that we're getting from CFIB members. The federal budget came out earlier this year, and as you may have heard, we've just launched into campaign mode with the federal election happening, I think it's September 20th. But I wanted to mention that we continue to work on these COVID programs, as you can see on this page, trying to extend them at least until businesses are allowed to be fully open. And I'm hoping that CEEDA members have been able to take advantage of these programs. I did want to mention a couple issues that will be especially important to people in the agriculture and ag services businesses down at the bottom of this page. The first one being Bill C-208, which has passed and become law. And we were fighting for that one because we said, when you sell your business, you should be able to sell it to a family member, which is very common in agriculture, of course. But up until this year, it cost you a lot more in taxes if you sold your business to a family member than if you sold it to a complete stranger. So we're very happy that this Bill C-208 has passed and received royal assent and is now in place. The other one is called Bill C-206, which is also relating to agriculture. And what it's saying is farmers should be exempt from the carbon tax on all types of fuel that they use related to their ag operations, including natural gas. So this one was working its way through the Senate. They had second reading on June 23rd. But as far as I can tell, this one has been shelved or put on the shelf now that the election has been called. So we may have to wait for the final results on that one. So I know I kind of went easy on the advocacy stuff, but I wanted to spend a little bit of time on the business support piece of what we can do for your business. So I've always said to business owners, you know, when you have a question or a problem, or you think you have a problem on anything to do with government compliance, regulation, HR issues, you should probably call CFIB first. We're not your accountant, we're not your lawyer, but we can help with all these things. So we have 35 full-time business counselors. Everything we do is available in French and English, except this particular presentation. And we get a lot of calls. Like in regular times, we would get, I don't know, like 85 calls a day from people somewhere in the country. During the peak of the pandemic, that shot up to over 1,000 calls a day, like virtually overnight. So it's been incredibly busy. Even last week, I mean, we still had something like 1,200 calls come in, so it's still busy. But we do answer the phone pretty much from sunrise to sunset across the country. And we really are there to help. So please call us. The number's at the bottom of the page here, and you can call as often as you like. And there's no cost because you're a member of CFIB. And I just mentioned that because we've certainly noticed quite a few, I'll call them HR support companies, kind of popping up all over the place. HR Downloads, Peninsula, those types of companies. And like, they're good companies, but they're expensive. And we've been doing this for 50 years. So again, there's some value there for the CFIB members. Most of the calls we've been getting are still about COVID. So we can certainly help with all those types of calls. We've put all the information on our website. It's gotten to the point that when business owners are phoning the government looking for answers to questions, the government is telling them to go to the CFIB website or call CFIB. So we really do know how these programs work because we've been involved in designing and fixing and extending these programs right from the beginning. Compliance is another big one, and you know, business owners are very good at what they do for a living, but when it comes to compliance and regulation and HR issues, quite often it's a case of business owners don't know what they don't know. So we can help you with those compliance issues, and let me just X this out here. Help you get compliant very quickly so that you avoid any fines and penalties when the government inspector shows up at your door. Same thing on HR issues. HR subjects are tricky, so we have lots of templates that we can provide to you just to make your life that much easier. And then also templates for some policies that you probably should have in your business, like a drug and alcohol policy or a social media policy. You know, when you think of it, every employee has got a cell phone in their pocket now, and it's not too hard to imagine that maybe when the boss is away, the employees are goofing around a bit and they post something on social media that doesn't reflect well on your business. So you really should have a social media policy that all the employees have read and understood and signed. And same with code of conduct, privacy, and so on. And we can provide all these things to you. So you just have to put your company name at the top of the document and have your employees sign it down at the bottom. And like I say, people call us about everything. I've probably mentioned this on previous webinars with CEEDA, but EI and family members is still one that we get calls about every week. So I give a lot of speeches at conferences, but I always stop and I say, can I just get a show of hands? How many of you have family members working in the business? And lots of people put their hands up, and I said, okay. And how many of you are taking EI off those family members' paychecks? And a lot of people still have their hand up. So you might be surprised to know that in most cases, family members are ineligible to collect EI benefits. So my last question is, why are you paying the premiums? And I don't know why, but it seems that business owners get mad at me when I tell them that. If you're in that situation, I'd encourage you to phone CFIB after this little webinar is done. Tell them what I said, and our business counselors will help you with that. So what we do is, number one, we help you get a ruling from the EI department. You know, is my son, daughter, wife, brother, mother, father eligible to collect EI benefits? And it takes a while, but eventually you'll get a response that says, no, they're not, because they're not dealing at an arm's length with the owner of the business. And that's the answer you get like 95% of the time. And when you get that response, we want you to phone CFIB again, and we'll help you get a refund. And they'll go back 3.5 years on this. So for a full-time employee, you end up getting between $5,000 and $7,000 back. My favorite example is a guy I talked to in Waterloo, Ontario. He had 8 family members working in the business. He was paying EI for all of them. And he didn't believe me when I told him this. He told me I was full of baloney, I think he said. But anyways, we went through the process and he got $56,000 back from the government. So if you're in that situation, please call us, and please call us about anything else on this page too. Especially during COVID, we've been getting a lot of calls about this online learning that we offer. So we've partnered, well, first of all, we do these webinars, as you know, the weekly COVID webinars, which have been very popular. We buy 2,000 seats for each webinar, and they're usually sold out within 15 or 20 minutes. And we've started to do regular webinars again, like some of the ones listed on this page. So if you get a chance to tune into some of these webinars, other than this one, please do. We do record them all. We post them on our website so you can watch them later. And even if you just register for the webinar, we'll send you the recording after it's done. And the other part of online learning is we've partnered with a company called VU Biz, which stands for Virtual University for Business. And there's a whole bunch of courses here. They're short, but they're college or university level courses. If you took them all, it would cost you $2,000, but they're free for CFIB members and your staff. So it really can help upgrade the skills of your employees. And the main headings of these courses are listed sort of in the bottom half of this slide. And then everybody can put their eyeglasses on here, but this is the list of courses that's currently being offered. So lots on compliance, health and safety, women's training is here. So normally you have to pay for that, but you can put everybody through the women's training no charge by doing it this way. Lots on customer relations, starting your business for new entrepreneurs. And then we did take it one step further with what we call certificate programs. So these are longer. They're not free. The regular price is $300, but they're $69, whether that's for you as the employer or for your employees. And each one of these is like a course at university. So if you complete the course, you actually get your certificate of completion, and you can use it at Athabasca University towards your business management or Bachelor of Commerce degree. And the way we're seeing business owners use these is it's part of they make it part of their recruiting process. So you've probably seen in the papers that a lot of business owners are having a hard time getting their employees to come back to work, or their employees may have found another job, so they have to hire some new people. So the business owners are saying, you know, this is your compensation, and here's our employee benefits package, and we do continuous learning, which we provide to you, the employee, at no charge. And if you took all 4 of these courses, it's pretty much like doing your first semester at university. And I just finished putting 2 kids through the university, and I can tell you a university course costs more than $69. So if you want to see what one of these courses looks like, this is the small business management course. So there's some modules you need to work your way through. It works out to about 20 hours of screen time plus some homework, and you must complete all the modules within 3 months, just like a semester at university. And then, like it says, you can use each one of these certificates as a credit at Athabasca University towards your business management or Bachelor of Commerce degree. So it's another way to attract employees to come and work for your company rather than driving down the road and handing out the resume at the next business. And then the last part I wanted to talk about today is just some of the savings programs that we offer. We surveyed our members, well, it's a little over a year ago now, but and we just asked them, how much money are you saving by using one or more of these savings programs? And on average, people told us they were saving about $5,000 per year. So I'll just talk a little bit about each program just so you can see which ones might apply for your business. Chase is our most popular one. That's Chase Merchant Services, so Visa, MasterCard, Debit, Amex, Interac. We have probably, well, close to 30,000 businesses using this plan. And those businesses, as a group, are doing between $12 and $13 billion a year in transactions through Chase. So you can imagine the rates are very good. So if you're not using this program yet, by all means, please call Chase and ask them to do a comparison with whatever company you're using now. They'll do the side-by-side comparison and tell you exactly how much you're going to save over the course of a year. And right now, they've got an incentive out there that says if you switch to Chase, Chase will pay you $300. And that runs till October 15th. But like I say, very popular savings program. Northbridge Insurance is your property and casualty insurance. And, you know, insurance is very personal. Like they have to evaluate each company, you know, when you're applying for insurance. So what Northbridge has done is added extra features to their offering for CFIB members. So like it says, business interruption and cyber protection, legal expense insurance. What that is if you end up in court on a business related matter, Northbridge will pay the first $100,000 in legal fees, which is more than double what would normally be an insurance package. But it, again, even just for requesting a quote, they're offering CFIB members 12 months complimentary telephone legal assistance. So you have access to a lawyer by phone for a whole year. And then if you sign with Northbridge, that legal assistance part continues as long as you're with Northbridge Insurance. Payworks is another very popular one. This is your payroll processing. So Payworks is offering CFIB members a 40% discount on their regular pricing. And they do everything from your direct deposits into your employee account, government remittances, record of employment, T4s, and it's super inexpensive, like $12.54 plus $1 per employee per payroll run. I used to do payroll for a small business years ago, and I can tell you, if I could find somebody to do that chore for me at that kind of a price, I would have been happy to delegate that responsibility. So again, we have tens of thousands of businesses using this program. Premature, it's a name you might not recognize, but this is a Sun Life product, and this is employee benefits. So going back to what I was saying before, a lot of employers are looking for ways to attract new employees to come and work at their business or get their old employees back. So Premature is employee benefits. It really is designed for small and medium-sized businesses. So it's very flexible, sort of bronze, silver, gold packages, almost like a smorgasbord where you can pick what you want to offer to your employees. Some people do just a simple health spending account, so their employees can, present receipts for up to $1,000 a year for eyeglasses or visits to the dentist or whatever they want. But again, a very nice program for CFIB members, designed for small and medium-sized businesses. QuickBooks, most people know what this is, but there's a 20% discount on QuickBooks Online for CFIB members, plus this gift card bonus when you sign up with them. Scotiabank, really nice package for CFIB members. This is probably our second most popular program that we have. So you can see the things that they're offering to CFIB members. There are some benefits in here that extend to your employees too, like better rates on loans and mortgages and so on. All the details are on our website, but you can certainly call Scotia to find out more, or stop into your local Scotiabank branch. ShipTime is a name that a lot of people might not recognize, but ShipTime is a courier and less than truckload service, shipping to or from almost anywhere in the world. And it kind of works like Expedia or hotels.com. So you've got a package that weighs 20 pounds and the box is 12 inches by 12 inches. And you need to get it from Guelph to Calgary. So you just punch in the coordinates, where it's going, how much it weighs, how big is the package, and then the ShipTime website will show you 10 different ways to get it there, just like Expedia showing you 10 different hotels you could stay at. And so you just pick one, and you'll find that the cost is between 50 and 55% less than you would normally pay for that same package. So once people start using it, they just keep using it over and over again. You do get aeroplane miles for every dollar spent. So you can go to our website, you can do a test quote just to see how much you would save, pull out the receipt from the last Purolator shipment you had. But it's all the major shipping companies. So it's Purolator and Dicom and FedEx and all those guys. So it's interesting the way they've set this up. Selectcom, this is a telephone company, so it's telecommunications. You might not have heard of them because their market is small and medium-sized businesses, but they do VoIP, internet, cloud services, your business phone lines, and members are telling us they're saving about $1,000 a year by using Selectcom. So they're a reseller, like they use the Bell phone lines and Rogers phone lines and so on. But the way they've structured this, the rates are a lot less. And it's been popular during the pandemic because all of a sudden businesses had to find ways to work from home. and they needed to get all their employees sort of hooked up to the same phone system. So we saw a flurry of activity around SelectCom over the past year as well. And I think this is the last one, but TELUS has put together a nice deal for mobile phones. So it's 25% off their small business plans for CFIB members. And when we were negotiating with TELUS, we said, like, we appreciate the 25% off, but it seems like you guys have a different special deal out there every other week. So how do we know that 25% off is a good deal? And TELUS said, well, no, it'll be 25% off whatever deal we have out in the market. So we thought, okay, well, that's fair. That really is 25% off. So if you're not using TELUS or you're shopping around for a new mobile phone plan, it would be worth giving them a call or going to the website and finding out more. So that's it for me. I know I burned through some of that rather quickly, but I'd be happy to hang around and answer some questions or do the best I can. Jennifer, do you see any questions in the chat function there?
Yes, it's regarding the EI rule, and does it apply to extended family members such as nieces, nephews, cousins, etc.?
My understanding is it's usually immediate family, but even so, I would call CFIB and talk to one of our business counselors about that, because it's a ruling, and what the questions on this ruling is, or sort of circle around, are these family members treated any differently than a regular employee? So there's some interpretation there, and I would encourage you to talk to one of our business counselors and see what their experience has been with extended family. But it's certainly worth it.
That was the only question that had come in. I did ask, because some of you have signed in as Beverly Levitt, and I was wondering if you could just drop your name in the chat function, your business name and your first and last name. That'd be great. If you would just do that for me before the webinar ends.
Sure. Bev, did you have any sort of final comments before we let everybody get back to work? You might be on mute if you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Stacy.
I can hear somebody. Well, listen, everybody, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to tune in this afternoon. You can see the toll-free number for CFIB on your screen there. I do encourage you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, because we're always posting stuff, instantly when something's happening in government, or if there's some new advice or savings information from the CFIB. And as far as the savings programs go, I've always said, like, just pick one. Do some investigation, call Chase or Scotiabank or whatever, find out how much you can save, and get that set up, and then, move on to the next one. Because the savings really are there. And same with our business counselors. Like, you call us once asking a question or looking for some advice, it's the kind of thing that people tend to keep using over and over and over again. So it's there, it's available, it doesn't cost you anything, and it can really help you out when you find yourself in a tough spot or with a question you're having a hard time finding the answer to. So again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. And Jennifer, I think we're safe to end the webinar now.
Perfect, thank you.